how to do a job interview. Of course, I won't call him Uncle Miles.
Driverless. 23 people are laid off. We start off with this major problem, and then he's replacing them all. And he thought he was here for this interview. And it's sort of this office style comedy without the breaking of the fourth wall. It's a play on the Tesla driverless cars. We are seeing how the customers are affected by the company, as well as the few workers that are still there. Some comedy moments of note that stood out were him playing against himself in the pool of the self-driving car, the car being on fire, but him still needing the confirmation call code in the call. Um, and everyone who has an experience in a call center, I think, can relate to not knowing anything about what's going on as far as the company is concerned and being asked to do a million and one things when it's only one of you and being expected to figure everything out. So I related because this sounded very similar to my job of the past. And I also really liked how they used the cars as henchmen. The main character in this, he's just such a comedic persona. His voice, his stature, all of it is just naturally funny. So, the fact that he leaned into sort of his squeakiness of his voice definitely helped and everything. And then when she says, um, ma'am, because he does sound like a woman, it was really funny.
This is regarding the comedy short Driverless. So, of course, this is a statement on corporations and how, trying to replace 23 people with one person and the pay being so extremely uneven, from the hot shot up at the top to, everybody underneath. I thought the production value was really good. The costumes were good. The script was good. It was a great ending. I love the freaking ending. It was definitely satisfactory for me to see him in a plane that was driverless. That was awesome. And then Raj, to me, was the funniest. I loved Raj. I thought he was a really great character. Great actor in that role. Everybody, all the acting was really good across the board. And then the main actor who did, multiple roles, I thought did a really good job with that. I loved the opening shot with the traffic, overhead and the parking lot, and then the music. The lyrics are really funny, and how we ended with kind of the same music. Just the whole thing I thought was good. Oh, and I love the character, the girl that was on the phone. She was great. Like, her timing and everything I just thought was great. Also, the editing I thought was really good throughout. And the car scenes, those can be a little tricky, and the atmosphere on the outside of the car, the neighborhoods and all of that. I just thought all of it came together really well. I thought it made the statement very well. Trying to have one person do many people's jobs. And then when the cars did come and kind of corner the woman by the wall, to get her to be nice and kind of have a change of attitude. I thought just the whole thing I thought was really well done, and good job to everybody involved.
This film is called Driverless. This was a quirky, entertaining short. We follow the story of a man getting a job at his uncle's disorganized driverless car company. The lead is a lot of fun to watch throughout, as he plays a number of very different characters, such as a Quaker and a tough, rude guy, in addition to his main role. The scenes with the corporate people on the phone and in a car were also well written. There's a real social commentary in this one. Lots of observations about powerful corporations versus the regular worker in customer service. Would love to see this in a feature. Well done.
Driverless is an interesting satire, it's ridiculous and everything like that. Yeah, many different characters, but also very simple story. And it's entertaining at the end of the day.
Driverless. There were some really funny scenes in this film. The fellow that plays the main character, Glenn, he is just so cute and just comical on his own. And him and the supporting character, Raj, I thought they played well together. In fact, with those two and the character that plays Joanne, the angry customer who's so intense, I thought it was terrific just to hold the story around them. Although the supporting characters they acted their hearts out, and there were some funny moments there. It did slow the story down a little. The tutorial scene was funny with Raj and Glenn, and they work well with each other. The meditation scene was fairly long. I think it was around 3 minutes. But the concept of the driverless car industry in a film, that was original to me, so that was enjoyable.
Hi, these are my comments on Driverless. I think this is a really interesting short. The themes of like oligarchy and corporate greed are really clear throughout, and I think that they do a great job of weaving those themes throughout all the different vignettes. I also like the structure. I think it was very smart and fun to have different stories that complement one another, running concurrently with all these different interesting characters. Also fun to sort of recast some of the actors in different roles, so we really get to see them and the full breadth of their abilities. I think the concept is also very interesting, like a take on Uber, but also speaking more to what Uber probably looks like now from the inside. I think the writers did a great job of commenting on that and imbuing those themes and nuances with the characters. I also liked how all the different vignettes join together at the end. Like, you think these are all individual storylines with their individual climaxes, and then they all sort of converge on the one rude customer. I thought that was really smart button for the entire short. And then the other shoe of the corporate greed being elongated into the driverless jet, I thought was also really smart, and another great button for the short to sort of drive home the points that were made. I also love the original music. I thought the original music really did a great job of speaking to theme and concept while still feeling really natural and really complimentary to what we were watching. Yeah, Driverless, very interesting.
This is the story of what if a rideshare car service existed but there were no drivers. This company is run by an uncle and nephew, focused on the point of view of the nephew who is thrown into this job without any proper training whatsoever. And so inevitably, a catastrophic comedy is bound to ensue. This short is nodding towards the replacement of actual bodies in the workplace and what happens essentially when you take away this customer service attribute to society. It leads all of the people who have a negative experience to be involved in quite a shady situation where the nephew is ultimately threatening the lady for a 5-star perfect rating. Or it's implied that the driverless car will ultimately take her out, which must nod to the drivers hounding you in the car for a perfect rating as you're getting out the door. Tables are turned in the end, though, when the uncle is given a driverless plane, and as if he's aware that he's not okay with it, and there's a certain fear instilled in him. It's like when you hear stories about how like the Pepsi family doesn't drink Pepsi, so soda's therefore bad for you. This guy doesn't want to go driverless in the end.